This is Dave with Metal Recruiters. I'm here with Mike with Moonspell. Got a couple questions for you. First of all, welcome back to Chicago.
Thanks, man. It's always a pleasure to come here.
Excellent. I heard that the band's name was originally Morbid God.
Morbid God.
Yeah. What can you tell me about the origin of the Moonspell name?
Well, the name came actually when I entered the band back in '92.
Okay.
They were searching for a new drummer. Previously, they had with Morbid God. It was a different lineup.
Okay.
The only member still from that lineup is Fernando, our vocalist.
Okay.
So they were a little bit inexperienced. So when they went to the studio, they had a lot of problems with the drummer recording. So they needed to find a new member that could, do things properly.
Excellent.
And be committed to rehearsing, which was a big problem back then. I was really young. I was 16. So when I came so when I came into the band, it just didn't make sense because then the members were different. The guitar players changed, and the name was a bit. There was already Morbid Angel. There was Morbid Death from
Morbid Saint. Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of Morbids. Yeah. So it was a bit of a childish name that we thought at the time. We wanted something that could take us, can expand our music, not be so concentrated, in the underground. So Moonspell, it's like it's a name that's a bit philosophical when it comes to nature, and also like the side, of the moon and the wolves. That really attracts to us a lot, and humans in general. The nighttime is always when we come out and play.
Yeah, for sure. All right, excellent. Your new album, Extinct, debuted on the Billboard charts here in America. How important is it to have a strong following in North America?
Well, it's really important for us. I mean, it's not like it's been easy. And we do keep on trying. This is maybe our 13th or 14th tour.
Yes.
Since '99. Our first tour here was with In Flames. It was their first tour also.
Sure.
We've toured so many bands, and we've done amazing audiences here. When it comes to doing the single package, with every new album, it's like we're starting from zero. We have this feeling because we are far away. Whether we have a stronger following in Europe, or South America, or Russia, you name it. It's also different conditions, and the market's completely different because in America, everybody wants to play in America all the time.
Understand.
But we gain a lot of experience from coming here. We have the most amazing fans. We have relationships for years. We have them become like brothers and sisters. And they come, bring us food and presents, and they keep our morale up. Because actually, I'm from the States. My parents are Portuguese.
Okay.
I was brought up in Boston.
Okay.
I had to move to Portugal when I was 12.
No shit.
So there's a lot about America that even Americans don't really know.
Sure, yeah, I understand.
You have a lot of contrasts, good and bad. And I learned that from touring. If I had just stayed in Massachusetts my whole life, I would have no idea of what a big, amazing country this is, but also all the negatives and positives. So it really depends on how your perspective is. And when it comes to the fans and them coming to the shows, even if we might think that the conditions aren't the best, you're used to European quality, which is at a very high level. We do good shows anyways. They say that you guys are awesome, and we go home really happy. So that's what rock and roll is about, and I think it teaches us that a lot. They don't need much sometimes to do an amazing show.
Excellent. The expanded version of the new album has a documentary.
It does.
What can you tell me about the documentary?
Well, it's an 80-minute documentary. It started with the pre-production with Jens Morgan in our
the studio of Extinct being done.
You have when we did the pre-production in our studio, and also when we flew to Sweden to do the whole production in Stockholm, and also Oregon, where we did only vocals, which is in the middle of nowhere in Sweden. You just see mooses, and farms. It's a really nice area to be isolated. We were just in the house just for vocals. The whole band was there. That's why it's interesting. Usually, the producers, especially in Sweden, they're used to the drummer comes and he leaves.
Right.
The guitar player comes in and he leaves. But we went the whole band from beginning to end. So on the documentary, you can see all that process and how we hang out.
So you created in the studio together on this one.
A lot of stuff was happening
Excellent.
at the same time because it was all really quick. Because it was 10 days of pre-production.
Okay.
We had 2 days off. We went straight to Stockholm to record drums, and things were still in the vibe of the pre-production. We were still developing in the studio. That's why it was really important to have somebody film it. We just wanted to do 20 minutes in the beginning, but ended up having 80 minutes.
That's excellent, though. It's an insight into the band and some working in it.
We had never done it. Everybody always talks about it. And when you're in the studio, we should have brought a camera. And this time we took a good friend of ours that also did the last video from Extinct.
Okay.
Victor Kasht. He's very talented, and he was with us all the time. And he just says, I'm a ninja, pretend I'm not here. And he's such a good friend of us, he understands us so well that we were completely at ease with him. So you can get the best. It's like our producer said with the new album, it's honest. What you see there is honest. That's who we are.
That's excellent. I heard you had 2 videos now released for the album. One is Extinct, the other one's a lyric video for Breathe.
Yes.
What can you tell me about the value of a video, and more importantly, how important are lyrics to extreme music in general?
Well, for us, lyrics has always been very, very important, especially for Fernando. That's one of his biggest passions is to write. Before becoming a vocalist, he wanted to be a philosopher. That's what he studied.
Excellent.
So he still writes books, and that's his first passion. Like for me, it was always drums and rock and music. So that's always going to be like the main thing. But when you involve all that and you have something more than just the music that people can think about, like experience, or like grow with it. And I think that's it's not like just calling your audience stupid. Like we know they have brains, and it's have some feelings. I think that's what poetry and lyrics can also be. And we learned that from the greats like Iron Maiden.
For sure.
There's like Bruce Dickinson's like a huge example of how you can be like one of the best metal bands and still have so much good lyrics and history into it. And a lot of people have wanted to become historians or scientists, just from being into metal.
For sure. Okay. It is the 20-year anniversary for the debut album Wolfheart. Yes. Will the band be doing anything special to promote, that achievement?
Well, on our European tour, we played a lot of songs from Wolfheart.
Okay.
We had a bigger set list. We could play almost to 2 hours.
Okay.
So we've been doing that on and off. But since we have the new album Extinct, that's the best way to show that we're still alive.
Excellent.
We're still doing new stuff. So what we do with our the festivals or like our bigger shows, or the next headline tour we'll be doing in Europe in October, we're going to definitely play more Wolfheart because it is important not to let that go by. But it's hard for us. Like it's 20 years Wolfheart. Next year it's going to be 20 years Irreligious, which was also like the album that put us a bit into the mainstream, especially in Europe.
Agreed.
That made everything happen for us. And we still have a new album. We're going to be still playing Extinct. We're going to play Rock in Rio in September for the 30th year.
Yeah, that was my next question. What do you have coming up next, as far as festivals after this tour ends?
We have Out and Loud. Where is that? Is that Czech Republic? I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. But we have a couple of festivals now coming up in Germany, which is a Gothic festival. And that's one day after this tour ends. We fly back to Portugal, we have one day off. Then we go to Germany, to Leipzig. It's an amazing goth festival because the whole city turns like Gothville.
Oh, that's got to be great for you guys, right?
We've been playing it for a couple of years, but it's good, especially with this new album, which is we went a little bit more into our goth roots.
I would agree, yeah.
It makes sense, but we're still booked for most of the metal festivals anyways.
Is there any plans to come back and tour North America again as a headliner or anything like that in the near future?
Well, this is a co-headline. Of course, it's not like a full headline package. But to be able to come here and play more songs, that would be interesting. But let's see, because we're going to have a full year. So if that would happen, it will only be next year. Unfortunately for European bands, not myself because I'm American, but when it comes to visas, it's really expensive. That's one of the biggest problems that Europeans have coming over here. And if you don't do like 2 tours in 1 year, then you need a new visa every other year. So that's always a problem for us. We're going to have it would be perfect to come back, but if we come back 6 months after, it's still a little bit too soon.
And
we have other stuff anyway. So by the time it's that we can come back, the whole process again.
So you don't want to saturate the market, but at the same time, there's an investment with
there's always an investment.
Here,
of course, for us, it would be perfect to be back like before the year would be over, or the beginning of next year. That would be perfect for us. It might happen. Let's hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too. Glad to have Moonspell here tonight. There you have it.